Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful Green Screen Community Center for Recreation and the Performing Arts. If you're here to audition for Seussical Jr., it's upstairs, second door on the left. But if you're here for the awards ceremony, tonight we will be recognizing my top 5 comic book authors of 2025. Before we jump into the awards, I want to make a couple of things clear. Number 1, these authors are not necessarily being recognized based on their work from this year. Instead, these are merely authors that I personally read this year, and I want to recognize how awesome they are. Number 2, these authors are not being presented in any particular order. As a matter of fact, to make sure I didn't unconsciously bias the order, I'm going to randomize them using my computer right now. And just like that, we're ready to go. The first author I'll be recognizing this year is Jonathan Hickman. I have really gotten into his works this year, and to be honest, I don't know if I've actually ever read his works before this, but I've loved them this year. I read his entirety of East of West. I've been reading his work on S.H.I.E.L.D. I've been reading his work on Fantastic Four. All of it has been just spectacular. He does such a good job with these characters and building the world that they live in. All around, I love his work. I definitely plan on reading more from him next year and in years past that, but I gotta recognize him this year because he's just so good. Next up, we have Scott Snyder. Recently, I reread Dark Knight's Metal, and I had forgotten just how much I enjoy that story. It was so good. I had forgotten a lot of details from it, but getting to read it again was an absolute treat. But here's the thing, it reminded me that that's actually not my favorite work from Scott Snyder. I like a lot of his other stuff as much, if not better, than Dark Knight's Metal. So once I was done reading that, or really as I was reading that, I recognized I should be recognizing Scott Snyder. I use the word recognize there a lot. You get my point though. I want to give Scott Snyder credit for his work. Yes, I read Dark Knight's Metal this year, but honestly, I love pretty much everything this guy has written. You should definitely check him out if you haven't yet. Next up, we have Willow Wilson. This is an author who I don't think I ever heard her name before this year when I started reading her work on Poison Ivy. And man, I love what she did with that character. It was so good. I loved it. It's one of my favorite comic book series now. So of course I had to check out some of her other work. Specifically, I've been checking out her work on Miss Marvel, which is also just amazing. I love Willow Wilson. I'm happy to have her on this list, and I'll definitely be reading more from her in the future. Next up, we have Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison is obviously a very well-renowned author. They have done so much good work on so many different titles. This year, I've been reading a lot of his work on Batman, and to be honest, I've read that before in the past, and I didn't really love it all that much back then. I found myself more confused than anything. But now that I've read comics for a longer period of time, I decided to revisit it, and man, it clicked this time, and I really started to recognize why people like Grant Morrison so much. Their work is just so good. Just like the other authors on this list, I'm definitely going to be reading more from them in the future. And then our final awardee tonight is Geoff Johns. Kind of like Scott Snyder, the work I read from Geoff Johns this year is probably not my favorite of his. I read his work on Superman, The Last Sun, which was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. But if I'm being totally honest, Geoff Johns has written things, in my opinion, even better than that. His work with Flashpoint is obviously iconic. I really like his work with the title Geiger as well, that I feel like isn't talked about as much. And all around, pretty much anything he has touched, I have liked, and I'll definitely be reading more of him in the future. I know I've said that for literally everyone in this video, but it's true. I love all of these authors so much, and I'm so happy to recognize them in this video. So there you have it, folks. My top 5 comic book authors of 2025. But I would love to hear from all of you. Who were your favorite authors of this year? Let me know down in the comments. If you could all pick up a chair or two before we get out of here, that would be a big help. And I will see you next time.